Is the time on a Friday morning. Jump on into the show, X, Facebook, and YouTube. We are Art City now. We are ready to rock and roll on a Friday. There's so much going on. Glad you're with us. We try to get you up and at it every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Here we come talking St. Louis, the news, the headlines, the water cooler talk, the things that are happening around the Lou. And, of course, we love it when you guys get involved as well, jumping on the show. Like, subscribe, share the show, give us your comments. What's got the needle moving for you today? What are the plans for the weekend? Who needs to be promoted? What needs to be promoted? That's what we do is we get you started on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Also, we kickstart our coverage here at luinfo.com in the mornings. Following us is the show, Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Jim the Cat Hayes. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. To be a Blues fan these days, we'll be talking the Blues again. Well, there's one good thing and there's a bad thing. The good thing is the fact that the Blues are taking several games into overtime. The bad news is they're not winning any of them. 0-6 on the season in overtime. I mean, they're snake bit. They look good last night. They blow another 2-goal lead somehow, some way, and you're like, no way. No way, this is not happening again. They look good. They look good early. But somehow, some way, they give up that spot. They'll give up that play. And before you know it, it's all over. And you're like, here we go again. Here we go again. So we'll get into some of the Blues from last night. NFL action. Did you see that one coming, Rye? The Bills losing again?
No, I did not see that coming.
You know, that scripted everybody. Yeah. Do you want to bet that game? I bet more money last night. We're on the Bills -6. They had to be. I didn't bet. I don't bet. But if I would have, I'd give you my picks. I would have bet the Bills last night -6 of the Texans. Texans, though, were playing for their playoff life. The Bills still in it. But man, Josh Allen, he's reverting back to interceptions. We can talk Bills the weekend ahead. In my humble opinion, because of what it means, the biggest big game of the weekend will be the Chiefs as they host the Colts, 3.5-point favorites. We got that. Speaking of football, we had a high school football game tonight. Some team called St. Mary's is hosting Parkway North.
Yes, sir.
St. Mary's the upstart. I'm glad to see them back. They look like they're back.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much. I'm really
Parkway North tonight.
Yeah.
If you look at head-to-heads and you look at scores from the year, to me, it would look like St. Mary's is the favorite. I'm not kidding. And that's me saying it. You're not saying anything. That's me. Then a slate of high school football games in the area tomorrow. Then you have Mizzou football tomorrow at Oklahoma. Early start the day, 11 o'clock. We'll get into that. Mizzou basketball last night won. You've also got SLU basketball tonight. The SLU men's soccer team took care of business last night. Lindenwood Falls 1-0 out of the gate yesterday to UMKC, but what a terrific game they played. So as you can see, a lot of those things going on. The U.S. Olympic, not U.S. Olympic, but the U.S. Figure Skating Championships are back in St. Louis after 20 years. So that's a really big deal that we can be talking about as well. Coming to St. Louis, it's always good to get that action in St. Louis. It's going to take place from January 5th through the 11th. So, I mean, you literally look at that. That's less than a month and a half away. Coming to St. Louis, another chance for us to at least put our best foot forward when it comes. You've got Winterfest, St. Louis starting this weekend downtown. We can obviously talk about that. And anything else that you guys want to get into, you just have to let us know what's moving the needle for you, what's going on in the area. We'll talk about that. By the way, when we do talk about St. Louis men's soccer, how about a freshman leading the charge, a St. Louis area kid taking care of business. That gets me more excited than anything is the fact that you've got a St. Louis kid doing his thing for the Billikens. And you're like, wait a second, what? You've got a freshman soccer player who scored 2 goals last night, and you're like, yeah, Jack DiMaria, St. Louis area kid, was with the St. Louis City FC team. Went to SLU High School. Just fun all the way around. And then, as you can see, there's just a lot of news going on as well. The data center projects, man, who would ever thought this would become ground zero for controversy and stories? St. Charles County residents kicked it out. St. Louis City residents trying to kick it out. Festus tried to give some land to bring it in, and here's why. There's a lot of money involved. A lot of money, a lot of jobs for people. But it may also bring some negatives as well, as we've talked about pollution in previous places. Water being polluted, allegedly. Also, electricity being used, electricity rates going up for prices. Where are people going to decide? What are they going to do? So we got the Festus situation that you're talking about as well. Then, on top of that, you had more drama yesterday in the courtroom with Alfred Montgomery. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it as well. All it is a look at me, look at me, look at me, bad moment for St. Louis. It is. If you travel around the country, people rip St. Louis. If you didn't know that, I'm just going to tell you. And I know you say, oh, I don't care about other people. Well, you should care when it comes to business, because perception is reality. And when you don't have those businesses coming into St. Louis, it's an issue. St. Louis City has budget shortfall. St. Louis County has a budget shortfall. We got to get our together, and these stories don't help the issue. They just don't. They don't help it. But, we'll do what we can do. From a weather standpoint, soggy Friday, but we're going to have a really nice weekend. That's nice, because we got to get that stuff going again. The Pasta House Company, I like to promote them. We broadcast live in Kirkwood from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios, 5:90 a.m. You see it right outside on Manchester Road in the little shopping center right next to the Pasta House. Well, they're bringing back the launch of Bastiano's Pizza, a tribute to the family recipe that predates the restaurant chain itself. Congrats, congrats, congrats. So anything else you guys want to jump in and talk about, we will do that as well as we talk about. Okay. Anything else? Fox, you jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, X, Facebook, and YouTube. Arch City Now. I was talking about the weekend. We're talking about, it's kind of a wet morning. Rye, you came in a little bit after I did. Was it still raining?
Yes, it was. It was still raining.
Yeah, rain from round two of the storm arrived overnight as scheduled. The rain that we had Thursday was more south, but today's rain may linger around the area for a little bit. Good soaking this morning. The scattered showers through Friday afternoon and evening. Possible thunderstorms today. We'll see where that goes. Not quite sure yet, but we're going to have a nice weekend. Nice sunny weekend, at least. That's what we want. And cooler temperatures. Really looking like fall. So we get it going. It's 6:15 on a Friday morning. So much happening. We've also got a situation where what we'll do in the hours coming up at 7:30, we've also got a guest that we'll be talking about. And I find this fascinating with what's happening when it comes to everything. Where is it at? Here, I was looking. Okay, couldn't find it right there. Not yet. But I guess when it comes to drones and security measures, when it comes to everything for huge events and what is going on throughout the entire area, a way to supervise, to police, to make sure people are staying safe in all areas when it comes to big crowds. So that will be there for you. We'll have an opportunity to kind of go in, show you those things that are out there, some of the technology as well. So look forward to that coming up. And we'll do that. Okay, 6:16 is the time. Jump in. Also, if you want to see anything, let us know. If you want guests, let us know. And we'll talk about some of those things as well. Okay. Blues last night. We'll get into it a little bit more in the next break as well. 3-2 to the Flyers. Goes to overtime. They ultimately lost 3-2. They pretty much had a pretty good, strong performance in the first two periods. Justin Falk scored 2 goals. However, the third period saw the Blues lose their lead, and the game went into overtime. The Flyers come back, led by Travis Sanheim's goal with 1:09 remaining in overtime. That secured the victory for the Flyers, if you were watching, as I was. Joel Hofer, he made 25 saves, but he couldn't prevent the Flyers' win. The worst part about it for me was the Blues came out strong in the first period, up 2-0. Then after 2 periods, it was 2-1. Then in the third period, it was 2-2. And then they go to overtime. And then all of overtime, the Blues dominate. Literally, the puck was on their stick most of overtime. And then all of it took was one play. Braden Shen gets caught up with a Flyer, and they go on a 2-1, which almost became like a 2-0. Joel Hofer had no chance, and Philly puts it away. So what does it mean? Well, it now means the Blues have lost all 6 of their overtime games this year. It means they've won 3 games in their last 16, which is not so good. You're like, wait, what? What? Again? What? They have another game coming up Saturday. That will be their next game. They've also had 3 overtime games in their last 4. And obviously, if they've lost all 6, they've lost 3 of their last 4. And then you look at the last games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of their 6 games, their last 6 games are 1-5. And they've lost 4 overtime games. That's a team that's close. But are we a city that's going to accept it? So you're saying there's a chance. We're like saying, it's almost as if we've changed the expectations. It's like, well, they're getting better. Really? Is it about winning? Is it about losing? Or is it about looking better? I don't know. I wasn't buying in from the start of the year with all the hype. I don't want to say I told you so. I was just like, I want this team to do well. And they're not. Jake Neighbors back last night, had an assist out of the gate. Hopefully that's going to help. Hopefully that'll help this Blues team. And let him get back in because it makes them deeper out of the gate. We just want to see our Blues win. They've got 3 more. They've lost the first 2 games of this road trip. Yeah, they picked up 2 points, so it's like they've won 1 of 2 when it comes to the points. But they haven't won. You got to win some of those games. So the Blues play again tomorrow afternoon, by the way, 2:30 game at the Rangers. Then Monday they play, against the Islanders tomorrow. Then the Rangers Monday night. Then at the Devils, the New Jersey Devils on Wednesday. And then they're back home next Friday, Saturday, and Monday, right after Thanksgiving. So if you guys wanted to jump in on the Blues from that standpoint, you can. I love staying up watching it. Watch with my son and I were just like, oh, no, this is not going to happen. No way. No, they scored. And then the Blues lose. So when you look at the standings in the NHL right now, once again, it's not like they're getting way left behind. They're just not winning. There's a lot of parity in the NHL. With that being said, the Blues right now, second to last in their division. They played 1 more game than the Predators, and they have 18 points. The last place Predators have 16 points. The worst team in the entire league has 15 points, the Calgary Flames, but they all have the same amount of wins. 6 wins, 6 wins, 6 wins. What's separating the Blues from the bottom of the barrel right now are 6 overtime losses. So they've picked up 6 points with overtime losses. They get a point. So it's like winning 3 more games. Get 2 points for a win, clearly. So there's hope. There is hope. I'm telling you, there is hope for the Blues. There really is. They're playing almost everybody tight now, and they're getting into overtime. Make an adjustment here, an adjustment there. But is the team that they have currently together a team that excites you about the playoffs? No, it's not. they got to make a move when they can at some point in time. What is it? I don't know. They got to have something that puts them over the top. I thought it would be Jake Neighbors, and maybe it will be. It was just his first game back. But as constructed right now, I don't know, 21 games in. 21 games in, you're 6-9-6. What has to change? We'll have to figure it out. Something has to change because this just it's not working. It's just not working. So we'll get into more of the Blues coming up if you want to do that a little bit later. Also, how about some better news when it comes to you know what? We'll do the NFL from last night. We'll let people get into the show. Texans take down the Bills. I was like, what? Texans beat the Bills. We have parity in the NHL. We now have parity in the NFL as well. There's no dominant team. And if you're going to tell me, I'm sorry. I said yesterday the Rams, they're the best team in the NFC. Who's the best team in the AFC? And you're going to tell me it's the Patriots? I mean, come on. Really? The Broncos? It's like, come on, the 8-2 teams. I'm like, no, I'm not buying in. Is that what has happened to the NFL as well? And then you have the Bills, who we thought they looked like world beaters after they beat the Chiefs earlier in the year. The Bills are now just 7-4, and they look really bad on the road, really bad. The Texans saved their season. They're 6-5. They saved it. They saved their season last night. And Josh Allen, it's like he had 2 more interceptions. He comes off a week where he had 6 touchdowns. And then he comes out last night and he has 2 picks. And I'm like, Josh, what are you doing, man? Really? So, you know, he had 253 yards. He was 24 of 34, which was pretty good. But he had 0 touchdowns and he had 2 picks. That is not what the Bills needed. 7-4. I don't know. And then you're going to tell me in the AFC it's the Patriots or Broncos? I just, in a playoffs here, I just don't see them in the playoffs. I don't. And Drake May is now the second coming of Tom Brady? Really?
Yeah, they need to chill out with that. They're not even playing anybody yet.
Thank you. Who have the Patriots been beating that are really, really good? I don't know. They have an easy schedule. See, now I'm a little biased. I'm a little bitter because the Lions have the toughest schedule in the NFL when they start the year. So I'm tired. The Lions are 6-4, soon to be 7-4 after they beat up the Giants. But look at their schedule and the primetime games of having to play Sunday nights or Monday nights and on the road and who they play. The NFL does that to you. You finish good one year, the next year you're going to face a damn tough schedule to keep the parity going. Is parity good? I don't know. The Chiefs have done very well for a long time, but now the Chiefs are 5-5, hosting the Colts, who are, guess what, 8-2, and they're the favored team. How is a 5-5 team favored over an 8-2 team in the betting? Scripted. You know my feelings on this, guys. I don't see it. Wonderful. 6:25 on Friday morning. Arch City now. So glad you're with us. We're rocking and rolling on a Friday morning. It is a dark, dreary, gray, wet morning. Great sleeping weather. Would have loved to have stayed in bed this morning, but instead I'd rather come in here and talk St. Louis news, St. Louis sports, St. Louis for this weekend. Jump into the show. Let us know what's going on for the weekend if you got any plans. It'll be nice. It's supposed to be dry, wet today, dry and sunny for the weekend. A little cool. Feels like fall. Great weather to get out and do some things. If you guys have ideas, let us know. Let other people know all kinds of things that are happening around the area that you can get into as well. We talked about some of the issues, some of the things that are going on. I also love the fact that you have high school football, and we'll talk about it a little bit later too, but St. Mary's Parkway North tonight, 6:30. Do they call St. Mary's anything special, their stadium over there?
I know it's some. That's bad, man. I know it's somebody's name.
No, that's fine. It's all right.
They just changed it.
You know, you don't care about St. Mary's. It's all good.
Oh, no, I care
I
about
don't
the
know.
Grand Dragons thing.
You know what? You know, I get it. I know you do. St. Mary's, the upstart St. Mary's Dragons hosting Parkway North in some high school football tonight. There's also some games tomorrow when it comes to the sectional, when it comes to high school football. So that's 6:30 tonight. Then most of the games are tomorrow. That's the only local Friday night game tonight, believe it or not. East St. Louis, we're the home of that. Do they have a game tonight, or are they playing tomorrow?
They play tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Well, all these games, Saturday games tomorrow. For example, you've got Fort Zumwalt West, and Pattonville at Fort Zumwalt West tomorrow. 12 o'clock start for that. So they moved it up. Nice to be Fort Zumwalt West these days. Their soccer team also playing. They've advanced. I believe that's to the Final Four. So the soccer team plays late in the day. They've got their football team, and they're favored against Pattonville tomorrow, too. I went out and watched Fort Zumwalt West last week in a miracle comeback against Troy Buchanan. A good 6A matchup there. Cardinal Ritter hosting Fort Zumwalt North. Good luck stopping the run game from Cardinal Ritter. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Terrific running back there. Festus hosting Sullivan. And then Kirkwood playing at Farmington. So you've got some good matchups there in 4A and 5A that I've talked about, but that's not it. We talked about East St. Louis at St. Lawrence tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Do you know anything about St. Lawrence at all? I guess it doesn't matter who's playing East St. Louis these days.
No, I don't know anything about St. Lawrence. All I know is that they were like the first team that East St. Louis played to win their first.
Oh, okay. There you go. My friend Tony Wolfook, the head coach over at Lift for Life Academy, they're at Dexter. Good luck to the Lift for Life guys.
Yeah, I met I went to school when he was a coach at St. Mary's.
Oh, nice. Love him.
Yeah, cool dude.
He coached my son for a while. I'm just telling you, it's one thing about being a coach.
He's a really good player.
When you're a coach, and this goes for any sport, and parents, you know it, when you're dealing with your kids, the coaches that continue to check on your kids even after they've coached, I mean, it shows a lot. You may not know it at the time, but if you have a good feeling, you should have that. He coached my son in 7v7 as they traveled the Midwest, and just always checking on my son, coming to games, and glad to see what he's done at Lift for Life Academy. They've really come on with some really good players in the last few years. Then you've got CBC playing at Jackson tomorrow as well. So a lot of high school local teams. If you want to give shout outs for your teams, you can do that as well. As you know, we promote everything when it comes to sports, high school, college, professional. We do news. We just try to get a vibe of everything that's happening from a St. Louis perspective, and we love to do that here. Producer Rise alongside, I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. If you want to, you can give us a call as well. The phone number, 855-282-8255. You can also jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. When we come back, we'll talk some SLU soccer. We'll talk some Mizzou football. We'll actually talk about Lindenwood, how they did yesterday. Also, there was an officer-involved shooting inside Terminal 1 at the airport this morning. Interesting there. You had some crazy fireworks going on in the St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery case yesterday. I hate all of this, and hate's a strong word, but it's just another black eye for St. Louis. It looks bad from a national media perspective. We'll get into that. Anything else you guys want to talk about, we'll do that too. Plus, a whole lot more. We'll be back with more of Arch City Now right after this. Welcome back into the show. Glad you're with us this morning. Here we are, ready to get things going on a St. Louis Friday morning. It is wet. It is great as jury, but man, we got a good weekend ahead for us. This is Art City Now. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. Jump in on the show if you want to. You can call 855-282-8255, or you can jump in on X, Facebook, or YouTube. You can find us at Arch City Now. And once again, that's Arch City Now. Come with the news headlines this morning. A suspect was shot and killed by airport police this morning at about 1 a.m. inside Terminal 1. Imagine you're driving through or you're walking through Terminal 1. It's 1 a.m. and you hear those shots. That would scare the absolute S hit out of me. Literally. I mean, it's already at that time in the morning. So what we know at this point in time, according to St. Louis County Police, is that it happened about 1 a.m. It involved the Lambert Airport Police. The suspect was shot and later died. No other injuries were reported. And that's what we have. So what's happening right now is that you have the Terminal 1 Metrolink station was closed. Passengers are being rerouted to Terminal 2. So you got some issues going over there this morning if you're trying to fly out. So basically what you have is the passengers are being rerouted to Terminal 2 where the shuttles are available from the upper level at door 2. Terminal 1 passenger pickup has been moved to door 6 on the upper level. So, you can try to call before you get there. You can also check out some of the local news websites. They're doing a terrific job at getting some of that information out there as I was surfing both 2, 4, and 5. The airlines operating out of Terminal 1, if you didn't remember, or it's Air Canada, Alaska, American, Cape Air. I'm not even familiar with Cape Air. I don't even know what Cape Air is. Delta, Frontier, Sun Country, Spirit United. Technically, this is the first, if you didn't know this either, I didn't, this is technically the first day of the holiday travel season at Lambert. TSA projecting more than 19,700 passengers are going to pass through the St. Louis security checkpoints on Friday. I guess because it's the whole week. You travel. So are people taking the whole Thanksgiving week off now?
Yeah, a lot of people do that now.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that would make sense then. My kids I have kids. My college kids are still there, but I've got, I have a high school kid. He's going through school through Tuesday. But then I guess some people take their little breaks and maybe take off from school on Monday and Tuesday. We wouldn't do that back in my day, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was always like, I think Wednesday or Tuesdays when we were done. But in college, I'd be back home by now.
Really? You would?
Yeah.
I guess it all depends on your schedule,
too.
Yeah,
it depends on your major, too. Like
the major,
I had
the
a bunch
schedule.
of projects, and I just had stuff I just said.
You were an overachiever.
And I was like,
you need to get out of the broadcasting business, by the way. Seriously. Maybe this is your start to something else, but you need to be running your own business, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the plan, though. I do want to be like entrepreneur, run my own business. But
yeah, we need to do that for you. Do it as work for yourself. And I tell that to everybody all the time. Work for yourself, whatever you're doing. Work for yourself, if you can. Now, working for yourself and owning a business isn't for everybody, but I'm just saying if you kind of have the itch of doing it, do it. You will love it. Small business is an amazing thing for this country. It's not easy, but if you stick at it, you will find a way.
Yeah, and I love working here and I love media. So it's like, why not do something where it's like it all tie in?
That's right. I want you to take over for Jay-Z at some point in time.
Oh, no, I don't want to choose who's doing the Super Bowl. No,
no, that's a side project.
Oh, no.
That's him and his director.
Oh, no.
Oh, but something tells me you would. No. I think you do a much better job.
Oh, yeah, I do a much better job than Jay-Z. I have everybody happy.
There you go.
I would just get a bunch of people and just run up.
Bad news for Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl and all the hype and everything that goes along with that.
No, yeah, he could still show up if I did it, but I would bring like 3 other people too. Like I would just make an extravaganza. Yeah,
there you go. Well, there you go. Somebody get this information and this man in front of Jay-Z.
He gotta pay me first though.
No, oh yeah, he does. Yes, he does. I'm right with you, my friend. He should. Hey, another news headline from yesterday. It was day 2 of the trial for St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery's removal. There was some, I don't know, there was some intense testimony, and then a judge had to warn the defense counsel. The warning came after a second witness described retribution by Alfred Montgomery, and then turned their sights directly on the sheriff's lawyer. That was interesting. That was part of cross-examination. It's the sheriff's Major Lee Stokes. He was sheriff's major. He was Lee Stokes. Now, he accused the sheriff of retaliating against him for telling the truth about what happened in the city jail back in February 14th of last year, when Montgomery ordered jail employee Tammy Ross detained because she denied Montgomery's office access to an inmate who reported that a sheriff's deputy raped her. So Stokes was testifying that Montgomery warned what he was about to do, allegedly telling Stokes, "I'm going to lock her up," with an expletive as well. So this stoked everything, no pun intended. It started to get fired up. The defense attorney was yelling. The judge had to tell the defense attorney to be quiet. It's just very interesting because there was a twist that there was intimidation by other people. It was just, I don't know. Mason, the attorney for Mason, David Mason, who is the attorney for the sheriff, challenged the witness Stokes, but then the Judge Stephen Omer, yelled out, telling the counselor Mason that the trial is about the sheriff, not about anybody else. And there wasn't a person in the courtroom who didn't look stunned. Once again, this could take at least a week to find out all of this drama. It's become a national story. I just hate it. I hate what's happening with that, but it is what it is, and that's what we're dealing with today. From that standpoint, when it comes to some of those news headlines in the St. Louis area, if you want to, you can read about it. There's a lot of twists and turns and things that are happening, but I don't know. It just, hey, it might get eyeballs. The story, it's just not good for the St. Louis area. It hasn't been. Drama isn't, and we've certainly had our fair share of it when it comes to our area over, a 5 to 10 year period, which we don't need anymore. Done with it, please. This is Arch City Now. Vic Faust here. Rye Guy as well. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us at 8 o'clock, a wet jury morning. But there are some better stories. Mizzou basketball last night won. Congrats to the Tigers. They remain undefeated as they continue to move on with their season. They dominated South Dakota, as they should. Missouri's 6-0 now. They won 102-68. The guy who has to be Missouri's go-to guy is Mark Mitchell, and he's starting to look the part day in, day out. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. They got to get ready because the SEC is going to be tough. Notre Dame on the road December 2nd will be tough. Kansas December 7th on the road will be tough as well. How about Javon Porter? That's right. Another Porter is out there. Another Porter. The third Porter had 19 points, 12 rebounds, and an assist. Really good game for him.
Who they play again?
South Dakota. Exactly.
I was about to say, hey, Javon Porter, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Good game, though.
Yeah, exactly. South Dakota, which is why I said they got to get their act together because they played the SEC with some tough games coming up, and then Notre Dame and Kansas. And then Ant Robinson, their guard, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do, and that's what they did last night. Good to see that. SLU basketball has a game tonight over at Chaffetz if you're looking for something to do. The Billikens, the deep Billikens, they got a good feel about them this year. They really do. SLU does. When I look at them, and you're a big basketball guy, I've seen some highlights, and I know they haven't played anybody yet, but they got a lot of different guys stepping up. Yeah. Isn't that the market? I know it's good to have a dominant All-American player and somebody you can count on, but has basketball changed and gotten to a point where you need at least 2-3 guys?
I feel like college basketball has always been like there's always going to be guys that are crazy good, like Melo, Anthony Davis, who are just super good when they were in college. But to win that or go far in the tournament, most teams are just all around in college.
And I think NIL has
Yeah,
done that for college basketball, just like it's done in football, where you have teams now that can have 2 and 3 guys, at least from a Power Four standpoint, or even a conference like the A10 with SLU, because they're very good, and you can go out and get players, and you can get depth. And I see a lot of depth with the Billikens. I think they've done a really good job. They host Purdue Fort Wayne tonight. That's not a very good team, but that game is at 7 o'clock tonight. SLU continues to get better and better. Got to do what they got to do.
I don't know.
Pile up the wins.
How do you feel about college basketball? Do you watch college basketball
Yeah.
more or NBA?
College everything.
Well,
I told you, here's
I
the,
can't watch. it's
I
like,
know,
can
but
watch
I'd love to
college
have your
basketball,
perspective. I do.
but it's weird. Like I can watch the NBA guys that are in the mock draft in college basketball, but I don't know.
I told you already. The NBA game right now frustrates the hell out of me. And I used to cover the NBA on a daily basis from 2004, 2005 to about 2015. I was involved in Detroit in sports up through about 2008, 2009, really involved. I just liked the basketball that I saw during that time period, even up to about 2019, more so than what I've seen in the last 5, 6 years. And why, Vic? I just thought it was a tougher game. I saw a lot more defense being played on both ends of the court. So I'm not just saying, well, I don't like it. I'm trying to give you a perspective as too for the NBA guys out there. I just felt like one of the best things became the worst things in the NBA, and that was Steph Curry. When it just seemed like, let's everybody shoot. Let's just go back and shoot. I don't know, but we all have our own perspectives.
No, yeah. I
Is
love
that fair?
perspective.
Is
No,
it fair?
I love that perspective because it's true. Like,
Okay.
no, it's true. But
And I
to
love
me,
sports, and I covered it my entire life.
Yeah, like
I'll sit and watch darts for an hour and a half to 2 hours because I love the competition.
darts.
I was speaking facetiously. I was like, I
love-
like sports so much I will sit there and watch.
Hmm.
I mean, damn, I watched cars drive in circles for hours to watch the competition level of it.
Yeah. But it's like for me, when I'm watching the NBA, I know that they're not going to be playing all hard until it's the playoffs, real, unless they're like a team on the fringe of it.
Yeah.
And it like to me, it just looks like a glorified pickup game with celebrities. So that's why I watch it. But with college, I'm like, these guys just look like a bunch of minor league NBA players now that just have coaches because they get paid money, but they're just not the same talent wise. So I like watching like AJ DeBasa, Kyan Anthony. Like I'll watch Syracuse and stuff, but I don't know.
Well, let's just put it this way. I do not like what the NBA did, stealing some MVPs away from Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, he deserves like 3.
I'm just going to tell you right now, you're looking at, in my humble opinion, the best player in the NBA for 5 straight years. Look at his stats. Look at what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about this guy and I'm just like, really? That's the NBA where Nikola Jokic, you can make a case where he has been the best player in the NBA for 5 straight years.
I'm telling you that
He's going to go down as one of the best NBA players of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's one of them already. But like they're protecting Larry Bird's 3 straight MVPs, man. They're protecting that because LeBron should have had 3 MVPs.
Yeah, he should have, and so should have Jokic.
Jokic should have had 3 MVPs. It's just like
Good point.
Yeah, they're just.
See, I can talk some NBA with you.
Yeah, for sure.
I can hang with you.
Yeah.
I can hang down there a little bit. This is Arch City now, not getting off the beaten path too much. 855-282-8255. This is Arch City now. We got into that talking college basketball, getting into some NBA from that standpoint. SLU in action tonight, 7 p.m. over at Chaffetz. Should be a really good time to go watch that. Okay, I want to show you some video of SLU soccer because SLU played last night against Kentucky at home, 7 o'clock. And the Billikens went down 1-0 to Kentucky, but then battled back behind Jack DeMaria, a freshman and a St. Louis native who had played with St. Louis City FC. And the kid was fantastic. He scored not once, but twice last night. The first goal coming there. It was a dramatic comeback for SLU, which is one of the better soccer programs in America. We showed you his game tire, and then now the game winner right here in the 104th minute of the game. SLU wins. They move on to the next round. Congrats to SLU on a huge victory. And, of course, we love to promote our own. Jack DeMaria, just a freshman. And what a career he has in front of him as well. And who knows what he might be able to do if he can improve, get to a national level status where he's getting a lot of minutes. I don't know. He's a freshman. He looked really good last night. Scored in the 86th minute. He scored in the 104th minute, and he helped SLU get the victory. Of course, we'll be following that and keeping you posted as SLU moves on. SLU, from a defensive standpoint, also pretty good, only giving up that one goal to Kentucky. Lindenwood, not so fortunate. They played tough. They hung in. I think they were outshot 10-0 or 10-1 in the first half at UMKC. UMKC also a very good program. And they lose 1-0. They give up a goal in the second half. But what a terrific year for Lindenwood. And of course, Lindenwood's come on in a lot of their sports from a football standpoint, now from a soccer standpoint. Congrats to Lindenwood on moving forward. I keep running into people who went to Lindenwood. It's like, oh, I went to Lindenwood. I went to Lindenwood. So congrats to Lindenwood from that standpoint when it comes to the sports side of things. Okay, coming up tomorrow, college football. The Missouri Tigers in action tomorrow. You're talking about the Tigers with an opportunity to really screw up Oklahoma. Oklahoma right now is in the playoff. They're in the playoff. They had back-to-back wins against Tennessee. Then they beat Alabama. Can they win their third straight game against a ranked team in Missouri? Will there be a let-up? I'm hopeful. I'm telling you, as a former player, and I say it all the time, 11 a.m. games are best for the opposing team. They are. For whatever reason, it's better. Now, you always love to get up early and play. As a player, usually you'll say, yeah, I love to get up. I hate having to sit around all day and wait. But the 11 o'clock start time is always an interesting one. I've always thought that it can sway either way. But if I'm having to go on the road and play at OU, I'm wanting it at 11 a.m. I don't want it at 2:30, and I don't want it at 7. Yeah, the crowds, and OU has some terrific football fans. They're a crazy bunch. I covered OU for a couple of years, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to go there. I don't want to upset OU fans this morning. You've got a really good football program, and you've got a wonderful defense. Is it going to be a defensive battle? I don't know. We'll see. Their quarterback's starting to get healthy. I wish Missouri had a more experienced quarterback. They don't. We'll see what Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator, is able to do. But they said they've got their 11 o'clock start tomorrow at Oklahoma. If Missouri loses, obviously, it's a 4-loss season. And Missouri can't make the playoff now. They don't really have any pressure. Nobody expects them to win. Last check I saw, you had Missouri as a 7.5-point underdog. So, there's no pressure. None at all. Nobody expects Missouri to win. You'd like to see Missouri play well. But even if they don't, it's like, oh, yeah, OU is, OU. They were supposed to win. But here's what's interesting. The spread started at 9.5 points. It's now going down to 6.5 points. The money was all coming in on Missouri and the points. Does it mean anything? Maybe. Maybe not. But you're talking about an over of 42.5 points, and Oklahoma now a 6.5-point favorite. So you're saying there's a chance, Vic? Maybe. I'm hopeful. I'm a black and gold diehard, hoping somehow, some way there'll be something. But we'll see. That's an ABC game, by the way, 11 a.m. tomorrow. Missouri sitting at 7-3, 3-3 in the SEC. Oklahoma is 8-2, one game better, and one game better in the SEC at 4-2. They're ranked 8th in the college football playoff. Missouri is ranked 22. What do you want to see from Missouri? What could they possibly do? It would definitely be an upset for Missouri if they were able to pull this win off. They're going to have to score, but I'm just telling you in advance, this Oklahoma defense, the SEC is full of the best defenses in America by far. By freaking far. And I think you're talking about a Missouri defense and an Oklahoma defense that are two of the best 5 to 10 defenses, maybe 8 in America going at it tomorrow. Special teams, the margins, as my good friend Grant Salzman likes to say, Missouri's had problems with penalties. They've had problems with beating themselves, missed field goals here and there. Let's see if Missouri can play a clean game. If they can, sky is the limit when it comes tomorrow. And they still haven't played a really, really good game. One game this year, and I can't remember who that was against. Maybe UMass, who they shouldn't have been playing in the first place. To take Rye's guess about Mizzou playing South Dakota. It's like, oh, Javon Porter did what? Who is he playing? Yeah, okay, we got it.
Just had to make sure.
Yeah. It's all good, man. It is all good. Thanks for jumping in with us here, guys, on the show. This is Hot Take Central 2.0. We'll come back. We'll get the morning's headlines. We'll continue to promote the weekend, what's happening, anybody to promote, any activities, what are you up to this weekend, what's going on. A friend of mine said, winery weekend, if you're into the wineries, what a nice weekend, fall, sunny, during the day, dry, maybe something from that standpoint. Anything else you guys have in the St. Louis area, let us know. We'll also promote, there are a couple events. Winterfest starts this weekend as well in St. Louis. We'll get into that. Any other news headlines, the sports, whatever is the case, if you want to give us a call, we can do that as well. The phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. It's Arch City Now. X, Facebook, and YouTube is where you can find us and check in at. We are your Lou Information Station, and we are live and on demand at louinfo.com. We will be back with more on a rainy, dreary Friday morning in the St. Louis area, but the sun is coming for the weekend. We'll be back right after this. Oh, we love our Fridays, don't we, as humans? It is Friday. It's the start of the work week. We are Arch City now. I'm Vic Faust, producer Rye alongside. What are the plans for the weekend? Glad you're in with us today. It is November 21st as we scoot right along in November. Well, it's the weekend. As I was told, it's the holiday weekend. I had no idea that Thanksgiving weekend kicks off on a Friday before Thanksgiving. I learned that today from producer Rye. And that's what the
Yeah.
airport says.
It's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving time, man. I'm ready.
Thanksgiving. It's a whole week
whole
of
week.
celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy it. I guess I work too much. I had no freaking idea. It is what it is.
This is my first time working a lot too, but
Oh yeah, you graduated in May. It's your first time. It's
Yeah.
your first time working after getting that degree.
yeah.
That's right. That's producer Rye. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. It's Arch City now. You can check us out. All the information at luinfo.com. All of our programming for the network, the programming that we have throughout the day, the weekend, We kickstart things off Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And then Hot Take Central 2.0 with the former Blue Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. They take you from 8 to 10 o'clock. On Fridays from 10 to 11, it's the MIZ STL show with Grant Salzman, Brendan Schaefer, bringing you everything Mizzou as they get ready to take on Oklahoma tomorrow at 11 o'clock on ABC. The Tigers, now a 6.5-point underdog. That line started at 9.5 points. Why is all the money coming in on Missouri and the points? It doesn't mean Missouri's going to win. It just means that's a lot of points, allegedly. We'll see where that goes. Also, the posse. Charlie, tune in his posse from 11 to 1 o'clock today. All right, lots to get into as well. We talked about it earlier. The Blues played last night. They lost again. Somehow, some way, they pulled defeat from the jaws of victory, up 2-0 after the first period. They give up a goal in the second period. It's 2-1. In the third period, it's 2-2. It goes to overtime. The Blues are dominating the overtime period. They've got the puck on their stick for most of overtime. Can't put the puck in the back of the net. And what do you know? One quick play. Braden Shin, their captain, gets caught up with a flyer, and it's a 2-on pretty much nothing break. Joel Holford really didn't have an opportunity because he had to be honest with his whole net. Goal, end of story, end of the Blues. They lose. They pick up a point. That's a good thing. But when you start looking at where the Blues are from that standpoint, it's like they lost again, meaning they're now 6-9-6. They have 18 points. Their 6 wins are a league low. They're tied with Nashville and Calgary for the lowest amount of wins. However, they have they're tied for the most overtime losses. So they pick up some points. There were some good things, but do we want to get to a point where we're trying to marginalize the Blues, where it's like, well, we're looking for positives. It's either you win or you don't in life. In sports, you win or you lose. We're at a point now where it's like, listen, if you listen to Blues fans and Blues commentators talk, it's like, well, we're seeing signs. They're playing better. All that matters is at the end of the game, do you have more goals than the other team? Do you have more points than the other team? Do you have more runs than the other team? Does it matter what you look like during the game? Maybe. But it's like, it almost seems like it's a let's touch this with kids' glove approach. You win or you lose. And right now they're losing. Yeah, they picked up some points. There are 6 overtime losses, which gets them a point per game, 6 points. It's the equivalent to 3 wins. Okay, that's good. That's why they're not in dead last. But still, you got to find a way to win. You find a way to win. And right now they're not doing that. They did play well. They did. Jake Neighbors was back. That's a positive sign. Let him get back into the flow of things. Let's see where they are on Saturday. Their next game is 2:30 Saturday, tomorrow, against the Islanders. And then they have the Rangers, and then they have the Devils. And if they were going to be facing these teams, that's probably a good thing right now. Because the Islanders right now, they're a good team. They've got 12 wins. They've got double the amount of the wins. They have 26 points. Okay, the Blues have 18. But after the Islanders, so they got the Islanders are a very good team right now. That's who they play tomorrow in New York. But at home, the Islanders have only 4-3-1. The Islanders have been dominant on the road, so maybe they can catch them early. But just know that the Islanders are a really good team right now. They're a very good team. And if the Blues don't win tomorrow, that's another loss. I would start this road trip 0-3. But then after the Islanders, they play the Rangers on Monday, and the Rangers are not so great. They're only 10-10. And then they play the Devils, who are another really good team, even better than the Islanders. So the games that the Blues were supposed to win or had better chances at winning were the first game against Toronto, the second game against Philly last night, and then maybe, the Rangers coming up on Monday. So they got some tough games ahead. 2 of the 3 next games are going to be very difficult tasks. So I don't know. I just don't want to marginalize the Blues, and I don't like them to say, well, they're starting to look better. They're starting to look better. Maybe the wins are coming. You either win or you don't. The positive is that Jake Neighbors is back. That's what I see as the positive. Because it makes me sick to my stomach when I see a team go up 2-0 again and they lose another 2-goal lead. It's like, come on. You guys are killing us. And of course, there I was on pins and needles watching the entire game, as I do, hoping, praying somehow, some way the Blues are going to win. And then I'm like, oh no, a 2-0 break. So if you want to jump in on the Blues, you can do that as well. We love it when you guys talk and bring it in. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also give us a call if you want to. The phone number there is 855-282-8255. Once again, that is 855-282-8255. So the other part that you have from that standpoint is if there's something from the St. Louis sports standpoint that you want to talk about, let us know. We'd like to get into some of those highlights. That was a big happening from last night. In other news, when we talk about things that are going on, this is kind of a bizarre story situation. But right now, Lambert is dealing with a very, very interesting situation. You're talking about a shooting that happened inside. One person is dead. A suspect was shot and killed inside Terminal 1 about 6 hours ago over at Lambert Airport. Shot and killed by airport police. That has certainly mixed up some things that are happening over at the airport right now. And what you have with this situation, last news we've had is kind of like in the last hour. According to St. Louis County Police and the police department, the shooting happened at about 1 a.m. And all we know is that it involved a Lambert Airport police officer. The suspect was shot and later died. No other injuries reported. That's what we know right now. We do have some information that what Lambert did. Lambert posted some information on X saying that the Terminal 1 Metrolink station is currently closed and passengers are being rerouted to Terminal 2 where shuttles are available from the upper level at the door 2. And then Terminal 1 passenger pickup has been moved to door 6 on the upper level as well. So if you didn't know already, the airlines operating out of Terminal 1 are Air Canada, Alaska, American, Cape Air, Delta, Frontier, Sun Country, Spirit, and United. Now, the shooting comes on the first day of the holiday travel season, as I was talking about earlier. Had no idea. TSA is projecting that more than 19,700 passengers are going to pass through St. Louis security checkpoints just today. And of course, it's a weekend, people traveling, maybe coming back, school, whatever, visiting with family, but I guess it's a week full of celebration. So the holiday weekend, the Thanksgiving weekend, that's something that was going on over at Lambert this morning. So no other details to pass along right now when it comes to what actually happened over there. So we'll keep you posted on everything else that we find out or we see with that story, or if there's any other updates that are going on from that standpoint. We are Arch City now. and we'll continue to keep you updated on all those stories. Jump in. What are your plans for the weekend? Where are you headed? The weather looks like it'll be really nice. If you guys want to jump in, let us know what you guys have going on. We love it. We love to hear ideas. Somebody's looking to do something. We had rain today, possibility for some more showers later in the day, but it's going to clear, and we've got sunshine for the weekend. And when you go and you find the situations that are happening, you can get outside, be a little chilly, but it could be a whole lot worse. I told you this earlier, but we broadcast live in St. Louis, in the Kirkwood area, right off Manchester Road, almost across the street, maybe catty corner to the Schnucks, the J. Randolph Jr. Studios, and we sit right next to a pasta house. And we can look outside across a really cool patio deck, a wood patio, and I see Pasta House. I see them getting ready in the mornings. Well, Pasta House has some news in the St. Louis area, been around forever. They are reaching back to its beginnings with the launch of Bastiano's Pizza, a tribute allegedly to a family recipe that predates the restaurant chain itself. So what they're saying is the new branding appeared on menus November 4th, but the pizza isn't new at all. According to current owner and co-founder Joe Fresta, met Joe, I just haven't seen Joe in a while, and his son, and their business developer, Joe Festa Jr., the Pasta House has been using the original Bastiano's recipe for decades, a thin crust, St. Louis-style pie built on fresh dough, a homemade sauce, and hand-prepped ingredients. So they said a lot of people don't know it, but my father was in the pizza business before he was in the pasta business. So Fresta Sr.'s father opened Bastiano's Pizzeria on the Hill back in the 1950s. How about that? Before handing it down to his son in the early 60s. So we have a little bit of the history there from the Bastianos. The recipe remained intact even after Fresta Sr. sold the pizzeria and later helped build what became the Pasta House Company in '74. The restaurant eventually added pizza to its menu using the father's original recipe. So instead of just calling it St. Louis style pizza, they wanted to call it something different. And Fresta Jr. calls the restaurant's pizza, quote, the best kept secret in town, saying that most people just see pasta in the name and may overlook the pizza despite its storied history. Okay, I'm going to have to get myself a Pasta House pizza, a Bastiano's pizza very soon, maybe today. By the way, the Bastiano's pies have fresh, unfrozen crust made daily by a bakery on the hill, along with the same family sauce recipe that Fresta Jr. says defines the pizza. He says a lot of people think cheese is what makes a pizza. He says, I don't believe it. He says, I think it's the sauce. I agree. I think it's the sauce too. I agree with you, Fresta. I'm right with you. For now, the relaunch marks a full circle moment for the family. It hasn't changed a bit. So there you go. That's the backstory behind the pizza. You can check it out at Pasta House. Hey, this weekend, you've also got something going on. You've got Winterfest. So Winterfest kicks off in St. Louis. The iconic is back for another year. Celebrating a decade of winter fun in downtown. Organizers say that with the Gateway Arts Foundation, they're going to put on their best Winterfest ever. We're talking about the dates kicking off tomorrow at Keener Plaza with the Winterfest 5K, and then the ice rink's going to open around 8 a.m. The free skating all day, thanks to Ameren, and this runs through January 11th. So they've got several music acts and DJs running up over the next, month and a half, from November 22nd to January 11th down at Keener Plaza. You can go and check out the website. It's archpark.org events. archpark.org/events for Winterfest. You can literally get a rundown of all the things that are happening, not only tomorrow, but throughout the entire schedule. and they have a list literally. The s'mores, the Winterfest Cafe. They've got heated igloos, an ice rink, the skate free days. They've got the Carol Okie Fridays. They've got the Saturdays there. So just they've got a lot of events that are going on Saturdays, Sundays, and of course they'll give you all the events and the updates of everything that's happening. Literally opening day is the 22nd. They've got Explore St. Louis at Winterfest on Friday, December 5th. Just all kinds of things that are going on. They've really done a good job to try to get people down to Keener Plaza to enjoy the city and try to celebrate winter. Unfortunately, the weather's not going to be too shabby this weekend either. Highs in the 50s, maybe 60s, sunny, especially for the end of November. We all know that could be a whole lot worse when it comes to the weather and everything that's happening from that standpoint. Speaking about winter, the big headline in the U.S. Figure Skating Championships and the whole industry is coming to St. Louis. The big headline is that the U.S. Figure Skating Championships will take place at Enterprise Center literally a month before the Winter Olympics, which are being held in Italy. And the U.S. Olympic team is going to be selected right here in St. Louis. That's a big thing. Bring some notoriety to the area. By the way, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships at Enterprise are going to take place from January 5th through the 11th, with the junior novice events to be held at the Centene Community Ice Center. I think that's really cool as well, spreading it all out. So, it's an exciting time. Really awesome that the St. Louis Sports Commission was able to secure that event a month before the Olympics and bring a lot of people into town for the figure skating championships. Also pretty cool that you've got that. So what you're seeing now, as we talk about promoting St. Louis, the Sports Commission says that landing big ticket events, it takes money to lure them here. And that's where the Sports Commission would like to be considered when it comes to how best use the Rams settlement money. Now, I know there's a lot of ways to use money. There's a lot of ways to say, I need this and I need that. But if you're showing how you're taking money and reinvesting and building something and bringing money in, why would we not give Rams settlement money to that? You've heard the term, you don't want to throw good money at a bad problem. Are we just going to throw money at something and pay off debt and we're just going to continue to roll up debt? Or do you want to throw money at something that's going to produce money? And that's exactly what the Sports Commission says that they're doing. So they're seeking a small infusion of about $5 million to $20 million to pull from to help bring patrons to St. Louis and revenue to the region. So, I mean, we got to get people to St. Louis spending money. It takes money to make money. Have you heard that? That's true. You've got to invest. Is it worth it? Maybe. Quote, it's going to excite local fans and residents, but it's also going to bring thousands of people to our community. They're going to spend money here. It's an economic impact, and it's a tremendous showcase of St. Louis. Hours and hours on national television, and it's going to put St. Louis in a positive light nationally. Well, it certainly has that opportunity to do so, and that's why we would want that. And we would love to get more and more people coming to St. Louis for whatever reason. And these are the kind of things we talk about losing conventions. Well, this was set in stone some time ago, but you have to look at what else we have coming down the pipeline. So we need more. And this is an opportunity for St. Louis really to put its best foot forward to show that, yeah, we're there. By the way, that was president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, Mark Schreiber. So once again, that's January 5th through the 11th. And it's also interesting that it's running coincidentally at the same time as Winterfest downtown. Winterfest stops on January 11th as well. So, I mean, it's good for St. Louis. We don't get these things that often. We've really got to showcase well. And of course, with the Olympic team being chosen that weekend, it's just a really good thing. And of course, we can talk about St. Louis positives, St. Louis negatives. This is definitely a positive for St. Louis. And leading into the Olympics, and we'll see what the winter looks like in the weather when it comes to that week in January. That's for sure, and everything that can come out of that. You ever get into the competition of figure skating at all?
No.
I did. I love the Olympic sports. I told you I love all the sports, especially with the Olympics and the team being selected here. That's a big deal. I mean, figure skating is huge around America. It really is.
Oh yeah, I know it is.
And I learned a lot about it when I was in Detroit for 11 years. They have the training facility there too. A lot of the hockey players train in Ann Arbor. Cam would talk to you about that. The hockey players actually, and I'll ask him when I get in today, I did stories on up-and-coming NHL players who did private lessons with figure skating coaches. Like the national coaches who teach figure skating would teach the NHL players when it came to their skating skills. Like literally doing the figure skating stuff.
Oh yeah, that's probably how, so it's
Oh,
kinda
heck
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's probably like how
It would be
like football players and
ballet.
ballet.
Well, I did a story once where I watched like a big defensive player like doing like dancing on ice and trying to be more graceful to help with their skating. Now, it's very, very common, I guess, with the hockey players, but for the average fan, it may not be that common. But they all train together. It's like you'd see figure skaters out there and you'd see these big guys that are going to be the next stars in the AHL, doing figure eights and twirls and everything else. A lot of fun, though. That's for sure. So be fun to get it in St. Louis. Guys, it is a Friday morning. Hope you're getting up and at it. What's going on today? You can check in with us. X, Facebook, and YouTube. Any plans for the weekend? Any shout outs to events, organizations, businesses, charities, you name it, let us know. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We fly around every Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Shows go pretty fast, 855-282-8255 if you wanted to jump in and give us some information on the St. Louis scene. Any of the stories that we've been talking about as well. We'd love to talk those things over with you. Give a shout out for whatever the case may be. Following us is Hot Take Central 2.0. Speaking of blues, I have to ask Cam if he ever did any figure skating classes. I doubt it. I'd be curious. I don't know, figure skating classes followed by boxing right afterwards. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. We still got a lot to do today. Come back in on the show, jump in on the show. Let us know anything that you guys want to promote. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. It is Art City now. We are here bright-eyed, ready to get everything rock and roll again today on a Friday morning. Not the best weather throughout the St. Louis area, but it is still a Friday, and that makes everything better. Most people's last day of the work week. If you are working throughout the weekend, I hope it is decent. You get through it all right. Sunshine should be around for the weekend, not so much today. However, it could be worse. Temperature is not too bad, hitting around upper 50s into the 60s, and we just got to get a little bit drier this morning. That's all right. Wherever you're headed, try to have a good day, as we always say. Stay positive. Lots going on. Lots to recap in the final 25 minutes or so that we have with you before Hot Take Central 2.0 comes into the show. As always, producer Rye alongside. I'm Vic Faust. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Any shout outs for events that are coming up for the weekend, charities, people, you name it. What are you doing for the weekend? What would be some good plans as well? All those things are there for you. You've got some, well, I don't know. I mean, you got SLU basketball tonight at 7 o'clock. SLU hosting Purdue Fort Wayne. They should dominate that game when you look at the team that they have. Billikens 4-0. Purdue Fort Wayne just 2-4 on the season. St. Louis with a deep team, that's for sure. So they look pretty good there. You can check that out. By the way, it is the Thanksgiving Day week or Thanksgiving holiday break. So you've got some SLU basketball to get you going. Mizzou basketball played last night. They dominated, as they should have, as they were supposed to when it came to their game. Mark Mitchell looked really, really good as well. Mizzou had a dominating performance. They played South Dakota. Okay, but at least they dominated. Earlier in the year, they didn't look good against SEMO, but now they seems like they're starting to find their groove a little bit more. They won that game last night, 102-68. We're up 11 points at half, really dominated the second half. Mark Mitchell, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Javon Porter, 19 points, 12 rebounds. And then you have Anthony Robinson, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So Mizzou looked really good there. Their first real big test, I think, is going to be December 2nd at Notre Dame. And then I think it's December 7th, 5 days after, is when they play at Kansas in the Kansas City area. So Missouri now 6-0 and looking good and rolling right along. Hey, staying with the college theme, SLU soccer looked really good last night. They were down 1-0 to Kentucky. And then freshman Jack DeMaria scored in the 86th minute. And then he scored the 104th minute. A St. Louis kid getting not 1 to 2 goals helped the Billikens move on to the next round. He played with St. Louis City FC team, their younger team, and really shined. Now he's at SLU. And you got to love a hometown kid helping the Billikens on. And they're good. They play a good defensive brand of soccer as well. So let's see how far they can make it. We'll find out their next opponents and look at that schedule. At the same point in time, while the news was good for the Billikens and their soccer team, not so great for Lindenwood. They did put up a fight. They were overmatched against UMKC in regards to shots. They barely hung on the first half. It was 0-0, but I think they were outshot 10-1. Second half, they gave up a goal. They hung tough with a defensive presence, but end up losing that game to UMKC. Lindenwood, that is. Final score there was 1-0. Seems like you can expect nothing but really good things coming from Lindenwood in years to come. It's a really nice team that they put together this year from that standpoint as well. We talked about the Blues. They got a game tomorrow, 2:30, afternoon tilt. A lot of action if you're interested tomorrow. We'll talk about Mizzou. Mizzou plays at 11 on ABC against Oklahoma. Then, of course, you have the Blues at 2:30. And then there's other college football games throughout the day as well. But when it comes to the Blues, they lose yet another overtime game. 6 on the season. They're 0-6. 6 overtime losses. Now, you get a point for each, which would be you get 1 point. It's the equivalent of 3 wins. Yeah, they're making overtime. They're just not winning. And especially when they dominated the play in overtime. The puck was on their stick. They looked like the aggressors. They looked like the more talented team, but they didn't win. That's what, 3 They're 16 now? 3 wins in their last 16 games. Even as bad as it's been, they're still not that far out. I mean, that's the positive from that standpoint. Did they play better? Did they look better with Jake Neighbors? Yeah. But did they lose again? Yeah. And it's like, what the heck is going on? When does something give? They've got a game with the Islanders tomorrow. And then they've got the Rangers on Monday, and they've got a very good Devils team on Wednesday before they come back to St. Louis next weekend with games on back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday for Blues fans, and then another game on Monday. So the only thing is that they've got 6 wins for the Blues, and that's a league low, tied with Nashville and Calgary. And the name of the game is to get the win. Got to get the win. So maybe people see some positives. I don't know. I don't like to marginalize things. I don't like to say, well, they're good for this or they're good for that or they're getting better. No, you win or you lose in professional sports. And right now they're losing, which is frustrated as a fan who watches all of their games. And it's like, what is going on? What is going on? So you got that going on. Mizzou tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Oklahoma, down to 6.5 points. The spread started at 9.5 points. Oklahoma was favored by 9.5. Now it's just down to 6.5. So clearly that tells you the money's been coming in on Missouri and the points. How far will that go down? I don't know. 6.5 sitting there right now to see where people go. I don't know. 6.5. I'm staying away from it. I have no idea what Missouri's offense will be able to do against that Oklahoma defense. Unless they break something open in special teams, unless they win a turnover battle. Those things are always possible, but yeah, I'm staying far away from that game, especially with all the money coming in. At first, I never thought Oklahoma, but now I'm like, what? The point spread's down that low? It's like, okay, what's going on that we don't know about here? And you see that. It's like, and it happens. It's like, okay, whatever. By the way, tonight, 7 o'clock, SLU basketball playing as well, hosting Purdue Fort Wayne. In action, so that's another opportunity for people if they want to get down, watch a SLU game, enjoy some of those things that are happening there. Also, from a sports standpoint, we like to promote what's happening when it comes to the high school scene and the high schools and everything that goes into the work that not just the football players, but everybody from the band, the cheerleaders, you name it. Tonight at 6:30, you got St. Mary's Southside hosting Parkway North. 2 district champions battling to move on to the state's Final Four. Congrats to those programs and what they've got going on and what they're doing.
Top tier programs, man. Shout out St. Mary's Dragons. I'm not biased or anything, but I got St. Mary's in that game.
Said by the St. Mary's alum himself. And you're allowed to do that. That's all right. Enjoy. Tomorrow, most of the action taking place in 6A. Fort Zumwalt West with a huge come-from-behind win over Troy Buchanan last week. They're hosting Pattonville at the 12 o'clock game tomorrow. Cardinal Ritter hosting Fort Zumwalt North at 1 p.m. Festus, they've had some pretty good years there, led by my former teammate at Mizzou, A.J. O'Fadale. We came in together. We played tight end together. He got to go to the NFL. A.J. played for a few years in the NFL. He's only 6'7". 6'7". 6'7". I was waiting for a reference.
No.
You
know, Wayne Kiffin was saying 6'7".
I saw him. I was like, I know. I like him.
No, yeah, he's a cool coach.
I do like him.
Cool dude.
He's been through a lot in his life, and he just kind of takes it by stride. He doesn't appear to take anything over the top seriously. And it's interesting because Lane's best friend from a college standpoint is Eli Drinkwitz. Those guys get along great. And they tweeted each other throughout the year. You probably didn't know that. It's like,
I did not know that.
Now people talk about Eli being kind of quirky and nerdy, and that's his reputation throughout the SEC and other schools.
Even
and he can't win the big game. Okay,
it's funny. He's like a
but I'm telling you, he's witty and he's funny. He is.
Yeah, he's a funny
dude. He is.
M-I-Z.
Yeah. Z-O-U. He goes Z-O-U. I haven't, I golfed not with him, but in some Missouri tournaments with him a few years ago. I haven't talked to him in a while. Just had a couple conversations with him. I like them. I do. Yeah, we haven't won the big game yet. The big game. But hopefully that's coming. Tomorrow's another opportunity. We'll see.
You know, like I'm kind of changing my thought process on that. 'Cause it could be way worse. Like you could be like Auburn in the SEC right now, or you
Yeah.
could be like Arkansas, or Mississippi State,
Kentucky,
or Kentucky.
just a few years ago, look
Like
at
a
what they were
bottom
doing.
feeder, but at least you know you're winning 8 of 9 games with drink. Like
Well,
you
right
know
now
he's
you
winning-
are.
You know he's winning.
So that's going on tomorrow. By the way, the other high school football, Kirkwood at Farmington tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Those are, some of those matchups, but that's not it. You've also got East St. Louis is playing at St. Lawrence tomorrow. We are the home of the East St. Louis Flyers as they are on their way to another state football title. At least they appear to be. Lift for Life Academy, they've had a really good year. They've come on. I'll give a shout out to my friend Tony Wolford, their head coach. They're playing at Dexter tomorrow. CBC at Jackson at 1 p.m. And over on the Illinois side, Bree Central playing at Rochester. So just giving shout outs to all those teams. If you guys want to give some shout outs, you can do it as well on Facebook, X, and YouTube. It's all there for you. Jump in with your thoughts, and of course, we'll get that information out there for you. And then, of course, we were talking about Missouri. If there's any other college games that you guys want to promote, it's one of the best games of the day. It really is. Missouri and Oklahoma, because rivalry week is the week after. Illinois, by the way, also, they have a game tomorrow night. So Illinois is playing the evening game. They are at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not had a good year. They're only 3-7, but it's a game that Illinois should go and dominate. They're an 8.5-point favorite. Illinois, go do what you're supposed to do on the road at Wisconsin and take care of business. But they're really, you look at the other matchups in the day. When you come to talk about ranked teams playing each other, the matchup between Oklahoma and Missouri is one of the top billing games of the day, if not the best. Now, you've got, I don't know. I don't know if there's a better matchup. Oregon and USC, 7-15 at Oregon. That's a 2:30 game on CBS. That might be the number one matchup, but I don't know. USC's 8-2, 6-1. Oregon's 9-1 and 6-1. So, let me ask you this: if USC were to beat Oregon and be 9-2 and 7-1 in the Big Ten, does that put them into the playoff picture?
It puts them into the picture, but at the same time, it's like.
And does that knock Oregon out? Because USC would jump ahead of Oregon. But then Oregon would have just 2 losses.
And they did only lose to Indiana and USC.
So that would be very interesting. I don't know. That's another interesting game to look at as well when it comes to the college football playoff.
If you know whose fault this is?
Who?
Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm blaming.
I'm going to leave Notre Dame alone today.
Everyone blames you today for that.
My Notre Dame relatives will be all over me. They'll be upset about all of that stuff that's going on. I'm like, okay, all right, we'll leave that alone. So that's some of the sports stuff that's happening that we like to talk about, keep you going there. Hey, by the way, if you want to jump in on Facebook, X, and YouTube and let us know what you got going on this weekend, we'd love to talk about that as well. Plans for the weekend, plans for anybody else, all kinds of things happening. Like, subscribe, share the show, let us know what's happening all around and everything that you have. Love to see it. Also, if there's anything to promote when it comes to people or businesses, places that you like to go to, love to do all those shout outs here, always and forever. That's what we do. It's about St. Louis. We promote you guys. Art City Now, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know what we're up to. Jump in on the show as always and promote. That's what we'd like to do in regards to what we have going on here. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us from 8 to 10 a.m. each day. Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. You guys help keep things going. We love it when you're here. And of course, wait a second. All right. Okay. 7:49 on this Friday morning. It's November 21st. Yeah, we say, I was going to Donna, thanks for jumping in on the chat line. We appreciate it. She said, hey, Vic, hey, Rye. I donated a pie to a food bank, also one for the family, as part of a fundraiser for a cat rescue. It is the holiday season. It kicks off. If you're looking to help people, there are organizations that are still in need all over the St. Louis area. We will continue to do that. We love it when you guys promote us, as always, and we do that too with you. Okay. Okay, I just got a message too. We're going to try to get our guest on next week. If we can, I will send that to you. But when it comes to our news headlines from the weekend, and something that's a big, big story, it's probably, and we're going to see where it is, but last night, we've talked about these data centers. Data centers have become a really, really big deal. Controversial. St. Charles County residents kicked them out, at least for the time being. St. Louis City residents spoke up about not wanting there. Festus Planning and Zoning Commission voted to approve a measure to rezone hundreds of acres of land, potentially clearing the way for data center. And that comes just days after the Festus City Council voted to annex the land to the city. So you see there's a plan there. But local residents last night packed City Hall to voice their concerns on what could happen to their environment, the city's landscape, infrastructure, way of living, all of those things. So, the data centers promise to bring jobs. And are they good jobs? Is it going to be a problem when it comes to some of the things that are happening? Well, Chris McKee, he's the president of CRG, the developer of the data center, says that he thinks, quote, I think it's a lack of understanding and a lack of knowledge about what a data center really is. So he's saying data centers are good, but yet you have residents now in St. Charles County, St. Louis City, and Festus. Are they all wrong? Are they all misguided? Do they all have a problem when it comes to information and education? So the meeting last night, residents were voicing their concerns about the rapid pace of the project. They felt like, oh, this is happening really fast, noting that the city is being asked to rewrite zoning laws, annex over 300 acres, and approve a data site all in a short time frame. They wanted to take their time with it and analyze it. And they do have a point. It is happening really, really quick. But McKee, for the data centers, pushing the potential economic benefits, that makes sense. Talking about millions of dollars and hundreds of jobs to the area, and that's why you have City Hall annexing the land, and then the county council and the city council at least pushing it forward. But it is interesting, though, that despite the overwhelming opposition from residents who came to the meeting last night, guess what? That proposal looks like it's going to be discussed and voted upon during Monday's city council meeting. That's going to be at 6 p.m. at Festus City Hall. Get your popcorn when it comes to something like that. Will Festus get it? It seems like it's on the fast track. No doubt it does. It seems like it's on the fast track, and we'll see where it all goes from there. By the way, if you weren't watching earlier, you didn't hear, there was a suspect at Terminal 1 at Lambert Airport was shot and killed by a Lambert police security officer. That happened at about 1 a.m. this morning. Didn't really have any other updates on that right now. I would call ahead to make sure that if you're traveling out of Terminal 1, if you're using Metrolink in any capacity, they've made some changes this morning. Before you go, check in, make sure everything is on the up and up in regards to where you're going from that standpoint. You don't want to get over there and get caught. That's the last thing, especially on Friday morning, especially when you don't know anything else that's happening from that standpoint when it goes to those things. By the way, Rye likes to give deals for people to know about. Did you hear about McDonald's launching the Grinch meal in the U.S. for the first time?
It's all right.
Have you heard about this? I didn't know about it.
There's all types of meals going on right There's a Grinch meal. Then I think another. I think Popeyes has like a Freddy's Five Nights at Freddy's meal.
Well, this one's interesting too because you get a Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNuggets along with a medium drink and a portion of a dill pickle. Grinch salt McShaker fries. Each meal will include a tangy dill pickle seasoning, which, when applied to the fries, it gives it a signature McShaker bag, and it'll give it an extra festive kick.
I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
I hate pickles.
Oh, see, I'm a pickle dude.
Have you ever had the pickle witch?
No, I don't think I have.
Jimmy John?
No.
It's a pickle.
Oh, yeah.
sandwich.
No, just a straight pickle sandwich?
No, it's a sandwich with instead of bread, it's a pickle.
Oh, no, but you know what I have had from Jimmy John's?
What?
When I was trying to keep carbs out with lettuce. You get it with lettuce. Jimmy John's does a sandwich with their meats and lettuce as your bread.
Yeah,
You
look,
can do that too to keep the carbs out.
look, pickle witch.
Okay, I've never seen that before. That's a lot of pickle, dude.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't like
That's a
pickles at all.
lot.
I used to be the kid, like, if I got a cheeseburger, I would take the pickles off and I would take a bite and be like, no, I can't eat it because I taste the pickle juice. Like, it was that bad. I don't like pickles at all.
All right. Hey, by the way, shout out to St. Louis. And again, we talked about him during the show before we get out here. Jack DeMaria. 2 goals for the SLU Billikens last night as they beat Kentucky. They move on in the NCAA tournament. Love to see the St. Louisans doing well, dominating, making news, and having success. Whatever you guys are doing this weekend, as always, enjoy. Take it easy. Stay positive, as we always talk about from that standpoint, too. Love it when you guys join us here, as we're here every Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. High Take Central 2.0 is following us today. Cam Jansen. I'll ask him if he ever did any figure skate training for his NFL career as he comes in. People should ask him about that, too. And Jim the Cat Hayes. They'll come in, bring you from the 8 o'clock hour to the 10 o'clock hour. Then you've got the MIZ STL show previewing Mizzou and Oklahoma at 11 o'clock on ABC tomorrow. And then it's the Charlie Tuna's Posse show from 11 to 1 o'clock today. I will give a shout out for your St. Mary's Dragons in the sectional football tonight when they host Parkway North. Parkway North has been an upstart program the last couple of years as well. If you want to watch some high school football, that's the game to watch tonight, 6:30 over at St. Mary's as well. So lots going on. Thanks for being with us as always, guys. We love it. We'll be back on Monday at 6 a.m. Enjoy the sunshine for the weekend. Just get through today. And, of course, the sunshine is there for the rest of the week. We're grateful that you're with us Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. And, by the way, for a list of all the other programming throughout the week, go to luinfo.com. Once again, that is luinfo.com. So, for producer Rye, I'm Vic Faust. That does another week of Arch City Now. We will catch up with you Monday at 6 a.m. By the way, we'll have Charlie Metzer, who does a lot of promoting and fundraising for St. Louis police activities on our show live in studio Monday at 7:30. Have a great day. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up next.